See me, I'm just a firm believer in divine timing.
Derrick Rose.
Allow me to introduce you to Derrick Rose. MVP time! Windy City Assassin does it again! This guy is off the charts.
Not the only point guard in the league who can make that play.
Big time players make big time plays!
Peace YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Sovereign Mind checking in with another video. This video, man, like, I'm here to talk about the GOAT. Do y'all know Derrick Rose? Do y'all really know Derrick Rose, bro? Oh my gosh. Let me chill. Let me calm down, man. The reason why I wanted to come up on here today, man, is just because I just got word today, probably all just got word today, you know, that Derrick Rose is retiring. And I just felt like it's a moment where I want to appreciate his greatness, his legacy, what he's done inside and outside of basketball, and how he's been able to impact someone like myself more than he probably even thinks. This is a tribute video. This is a tribute video to him. Who knows, one day he might see it. You know, ever since he joined the league in 2009, I say he's my childhood hero because in 2009 was a time where my grandmother was actually battling cancer. And at the time, I remember vividly that me, my mother, my uncle, we was in the hospital. In order to distract ourselves from the illness, you know, of my grandmother at the time, we put on some basketball, NBA basketball. And we remember we was watching Derrick Rose in 2009 in his rookie season. And we was just talking about how great of a player he is. You know, just how skilled he is as a basketball player. And I've always played basketball. I never really could say I had an idol like that. Like, I was aware of LeBron James growing up. I was aware of Kobe Bryant. I was aware of like the big names. You know, I was even aware of like Gilbert Arenas and players like that, Chris Paul. These were all names and players that I was aware of. But in 2009, Derrick Rose kind of just struck as the person I need to not only play like, but move like, you know, just as an individual. See, growing up for me, I was a very, I would say, shy kid. Real talk, I was shy. You know, I wasn't one to just automatically just start speaking. I didn't feel like I always had all the answers. I just wasn't as confident to just talk and just be outgoing. I was more just like observant, absorbing things. And in the mix of that, I was still very confident within. I just didn't know how to express that to the world. Like, I never had doubts of myself. I never thought I was less than anybody, but I just didn't know how to show the world that I don't think that I'm less than you. You feel what I'm saying? And so sometimes, you know, even moments with my father, moments with maybe some uncles, they'd always tell me, yo, speak up for what you want, speak up, show your confidence. I think even deep down, they felt the energy that I was really a confident kid. Growing up, I used to just be dancing all the time, breakdancing in front of my family, cracking jokes, being silly, really just being a silly kind of like class clown of in the household with my family. And I also brought that into the school with me as well too, a little bit. You know, I always want to see smiles, make somebody happy and stuff like that, but I wasn't always so delivery outgoing like I am now. And that's, I guess, kind of normal as a kid, right? Like, not every kid just grows into themselves so easily. They have to grow into themselves, literally. They're not always just outgoing off the jump. So that was kind of my situation. And I remember watching Derrick Rose, you know, within that 3-year span, 2010, 2011, 2012, like, I remember really watching him and really saying to myself, like, yo, he reminds me a lot of myself. It's not that I don't see that he's confident, but he's not as confident in expressing it like a normal everybody else probably we would expect. But it didn't matter because his actions showed how confident he truly was. How he performed on that court showed that he was real life a dog. Like, inside of there, he's a dog. And I took that, and the energy that gave me was the energy that no matter what, nobody got to know what you're thinking. But when it's time for you to put in the work, when it's time for you to put in the action, when it's time for you to show up and show them, you got to show them that you a dog and you a force to be reckoned with. I call it being a silent assassin. And it was really you know, a motto, or I would say just a way of life that I lived by for a very long period of time, and I feel like it even still carries with me to this day. I really just look at life like I don't gotta be the spokesman all the time. I don't gotta be the #1 person talking. I don't gotta be the person always saying what I can do. I could just be a silent assassin, and this energy, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel my presence through my energy. And energy is just action in motion. You're gonna feel it through the things that I do rather than the things that I say. I know everybody remembers Derrick Rose in the All-Star Game. You know, you got LeBron popping off. You got, you know, I think D Wade, right? You got all these guys popping off. And then you got Derrick Rose just walking out with his hands behind his back, just walking, cooling. Like, you know, he just out there. He know he him. You feel me? I feel like that was one of his coldest moments. I just say that to say, like, I really remember moments with watching Derrick Rose. I really felt like if he wins this game, he's building more of my confidence. You know, like, I'm watching him go against Kobe Christmas game. I'm watching him go against Kobe 4th quarter, just being a dog, like not giving up in the game, come and hit the game-winning shot. You know, the go-ahead bucket to win the game. Like, and I remember just watching it. I used to have his jersey on while I was watching the game. You know, when he scored the last bucket, I'm pulling up the jersey like, yo, D-Rose. D-Rose made me love basketball. Basketball is a sport that I grew up playing. I feel like basketball, for myself, and I'm probably even speaking for a lot of people even watching this, it awakens something within you to understand more of who you are. It's not until you play sports where you can really understand sports and understand certain things that's going within it to really understand why people love it and they treat it how they do. You know, those trials and tribulations of, you know, losing the game in the locker room and how you got to deal with it afterwards, you know, missing out on a big play, making a big play, going into halftime down and then ending the game up. Those trials and tribulations of sports, and specifically basketball, is what made me. And the good thing that happened for me was I didn't attach my identity to basketball. I learned more about who I am outside of basketball after I was done with it. And I learned that I needed basketball to know what I needed to do for the rest of my life. I'm a natural born leader. Really, every single team that I've ever been on, I either was the leader of the team or became leader of the team at some point. That natural born leadership really comes from my life path number 1. So everything I go into now, I am in the mindset of I'm probably gonna be the leader of this. I have no problem leading because of what I had to do with basketball. To take it back to Derrick Rose in basketball, you know, Derrick Rose, he showed me what true trials and tribulations really is. You know, seeing his injury when he's at the peak of his career at the time, being named the youngest MVP, going head to head with LeBron James, giving him a run for his money. I mean, this guy had the whole Chicago on his shoulders and the whole world who supported him on his shoulders. You know, me being from New York. Even through his injuries, even through that terrible ACL injury he had to go through, he would still be able to bounce back and still play in 2014 and still give us a killer series against LeBron. You know, game winner, game 1. You know, and still just balled. At the end of the day, just balled. You know, being traded to the Knicks didn't stop him from still balling. Being traded to the Timberwolves didn't stop him from scoring 50. I mean, Derrick Rose truly is a childhood hero. He's someone that I respect, not only just because he plays basketball, but his character is what I respect. I think the best thing about all of it, he's still conscious and aware of himself after everything. He needed to go what he went through in order to come to his conscious and spiritual awakening. Now that's another brother that's able to change and create in the world due to the outcomes and the circumstances that were meant to happen. They needed to happen for him. And that's why the story, the legacy, I wouldn't even want it any other way. Yeah, it'd be nice to fantasize on what he could be playing against somebody like Steph Curry in his prime and he's in his prime. Yeah, it'd be nice to see him go against a Damian Lillard. You know, those will all be great things, but bigger than basketball, man, I think what happened needed to happen for the impact that I know he's gonna do moving forward within his life. And, you know, now I'm really just acknowledging him more than a basketball player as a human being. Derrick, yo, I appreciate you, man. You know, like, I really do. This is something personal for me that I just feel like I had to do, get off my chest. If I can't talk about it to other people, I'm gonna talk about it with y'all, because y'all are my peoples watching this. Hope y'all feel how I feel. You know, if you're really a basketball fan, if you really like Derrick Rose, and you know, show that man nothing but love. You know, show that man nothing but love anytime you see him post. If you see him in the real world, good dude. And I hope to meet Derrick Rose one day. Hope to have a great conversation with him and build from here. I know he's got definitely some ideas of how he wants to build for the future. This is a good tribute video I wanted to just dedicate. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and watching. Make sure y'all take care of yourselves, because the more y'all take care of yourselves, y'all take care of me, because we are one. And for this video, man, throw up the one in the comment section. Throw up the ones in the comment section for the GOAT, Derrick Rose.
Rookie of the Year award. You made your first All-Star team a year ago. Now people around the league are talking about you taking the next jump to becoming a top 10 player in the league. I know you've never been one to back away from a challenge. What kind of expectations do you set for yourself individually going into year 3?
It's high. The way I look at it within myself, why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why can't I do that? I think I work hard. I think I dedicate myself to the game and sacrifice a lot of things at a young age. And I know that if I continue to do good, what I can get out of it. And if that's me going now or doing whatever, I'm willing to do it, because I know that in the long run, it's going to help me.